What's going on out there, guys? Welcome to another episode of Kera Dangerous Live. I'm so happy to be with you tonight. You know what? Oh, I can't wait for you to hear this performer I have for you. It's somebody that I really like and I've had a chance to work with myself. His name is Billie Slum, and he's multi-talented, and I can't wait to introduce him to you. But you know what we got to do first? I got to hit you with the theme, so let's do it like we know how to do it.
It ain't the same around here like it used to be. You don't see people sit together like you used to see. I keep telling the people to find inner peace. Don't pull out that gun.
Hello, Billie Slum. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good, KD?
Nothing much. Look, I've been waiting to kind of sit down with you for quite a while now, brother. So this is a good moment.
Likewise.
Yes. You know, I know you from Georgia, but I know you from Macon, Georgia. Now I don't know if I know anything about Macon, Georgia, so maybe
you know enough. That's like it should be like second home for you, man. First of all, thank you for having me. By the way, go ahead.
Of course, brother. And I'm just playing, of course. Everybody knows I'm from MacTown. I'm not afraid to represent it all.
Right on.
But I wanted to bring you on because when I think about Macon, and I'll ask you this as well, but I think about all the talent that's there before I think about anything negative. And when I think about a couple of artists, you always pop into my mind because you're a humble guy, but you are really talented, and talent just speaks for itself, and you don't have to say much because when you get up there and you perform or when you display your music, we know what we're hearing. We're hearing some good, honest music, Billie.
Right on. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to. That's the way I was raised. How I was raised. So I don't know how to be any other way than me. I don't have to put on a facade or nothing like that. Just naturally who I am. So.
Now I want people to really get a chance to understand who you are. So of course I said you're from Macon, Georgia, but let's go into that a little bit.
Okay.
I know you grew up around the Bloomfield area. Now tell us a little bit about that because I hear it's not the easiest place to grow up, but somehow you managed. So
Bloomfield when I was growing up was a fun place, even though we had the drama and the violence and all of that. But to me, it's like the best times I had growing up in the hood, playing football in the street, the house parties, all that kind of stuff. But of course, you have that side of it that, unfortunately we can't go without speaking on, which is, the crime and, just, what goes on. Yeah. But how I navigated, I had a praying grandmothers and a praying mama, praying parents, and by the grace of God, I'm still here.
So instead of getting swept up in the street life, you're telling me you had elders. You had elders in your life who helped you?
I didn't say I didn't get caught up. I said by the grace of God, I'm still here. Yeah, I definitely had my share of the shenanigans and street activity, but I think those prayers prevail over my life, so yeah, like I say, by the grace of the Most High, I am here.
Now you rap and you sing and you have your entrepreneurship. When did you see in yourself that you had something that you could kind of take and mold and do something with later on? When did you first realize, hey, I got some talent and I got to do something with it?
When did I notice I had talent? I would say at a real young age, man. I always been a music lover. My grandmother put me in the choir when I was like maybe 4 or 5. So I started off singing in the choir. Of course, I strayed away from the church and got involved into other stuff. But that foundation was already laid. And my grandma, she ran in what we call a bootleg in the South. I'm sure you're already familiar with that. She helped run the liquor house, and all those sounds would always fill my head, all the blues sounds, the Otis Reddings, the Wilson Pickett's, even the Georgia Mass Choirs and all those type of things. So that kind of stuck with me, and I just always would emulate whatever she played. I emulated in my head, and all those sounds stuck with me. Then I found my favorite artist, which happened to be Prince, And that was more so my mama's swag. My mama was the Prince, and then even the hip hop. She would listen to Curtis Blow, and because my mom had me young, so she was still into the heavy into hip hop, and Curtis Blow, Run DMC, LL. So I had all these sounds that I was a mixture of, kind of growing up, and so yeah, it's always been in me. Yeah.
Well, since you're hanging out with the boys, I'm pretty sure hip hop grabbed your attention. But even when you were younger, were you so much into the singing factor? I heard you say you were in the choir, but did you take the music and kind of step back from it a little? I mean, not the music, but the singing, and step away from it a little bit and just concentrate on hip hop? Or did you always kind of have it with you?
Yeah, no, I did definitely stray away from the singing. I'm just now getting back to it. I was always afraid to sing in front of people. When I was little, I had a little kitty voice, and before my voice changed, so they would push me to lead songs, and I had a whole church rocking, and but I was always shy. I was always a shy kid. People don't believe that, being I'm a performer now, but I was always a shy kid. So singing, and especially like the type of homeboys that I got, man, they will rag you, they gonna roast you, and so I always kind of tuck that away up until now, and it's just kind of like I got to conquer that fear and just jump out there.
Billy, you have 6 albums, 15 singles, if I'm correct.
I don't even count.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work.
That ain't even counting like the mixtapes and the underground stuff. So yeah. You just talking about on streaming. I definitely got a lot more, but if you talking about like on streaming, yeah, I lost count.
What kind of things were you doing to kind of get yourself out there in the neighborhood? Like, I'm sure you at school rapping and whatnot. Did people know about Billie Slum to the point? I'm trying to figure out, how did you get to work, have a record deal with CTE World with Young Jeezy? Because that's incredible.
Well, like I said, I was involved in like certain circles and certain things that I shouldn't have been involved in. But it started off, the rapping part started off in school. I would always be freestyling, in between classes and on the walkway. I kind of built my name up at, Southwest High School. And then when we started like getting into the actual studio and laying down songs, shout out Wolf, shout out 6'4", the group that I started with was the Underland, which was a part of the Mud Hole. We would get up every morning. I mean, every weekend we would get up, and I would hit every single barbershop with our CDs. I would go to all the flea markets, and I was working at Foot Locker. I would get off from Foot Locker at night, take out my Foot Locker shirt, and we go across the street to the gas station and trap all night. And these are facts. Anybody can go back, and verify this. And so we would be out there 2-3 o'clock in the morning pumping CDs, and I was paying bills with music money before I even knew what a record deal was. So then that's facts. You can ask my baby mama that. Yeah. So it's the hustle has always been in me. I don't know why. I do know why. It's both of my grandfathers were entrepreneurs. They never worked for anybody, so they always had like hustle about themselves. So I guess it's just in my DNA.
Okay. Sounds good. Now, back then in music, you had to hit the pavement, man.
You be out there, yeah.
You had to sell it out the trunk.
A lot of these cats now, they just drop a song and they homeboys hype them up, and but I really was grassroots with it. I touched the people, and like I said, we went to every barbershop, and we would go and ask for the sale. Like in the corporate world, like whatever you're trying to sell, you have to ask for the sale, present your product, and we always had a nice presentation with whatever we did, and that I was kind of the mastermind behind all of that. So I had a business mind at an early age, even though a lot of that was used for the wrong thing. It's just, I don't know. It's how I'm wired. I always had a thing for presentation and making sure everything looks a certain way.
Absolutely. Now I want to get back to CTE, but first I want to say, the music business nowadays, I don't know if it's so much selling it out the trunk. I'm sure it's some people that still do that, but you have to have this social media game on lock. Have you?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's been an easy transition for you to learn this new way of putting yourself out there?
It is not. Like I said, I've always been a shy person. People don't believe that. I've always been like a real serious introvert. So social media took me some time to kind of come out of my shell. So I just finally got to a point where I didn't really care what people thought, and I would just, once I stopped caring, and I would just post like my thoughts, and people tend to think I'm a funny guy. Then it's just naturally who I am. So people gravitate to that as far as that part of my personality, just being a silly cat. I'm not constantly flooding you with links. You know, I may say something to grab your attention, with it's just actually something I'm actually thinking about, or I may say something funny. You know, people gravitate to that, and then I'll kind of start slipping the music in between that, and then it just start gradually building. I wouldn't, you know, I'm not the guy who's gonna go, you know, no, not the people who do this, but I'm not the person who's going to go tag a million people and say, "Hey, listen to my record." I
Right.
kind of grab your attention with my thoughts, my personal thoughts, and if it's something that you can relate to, you tap in that way, and then I may slide a link in between that, and people just start gradually catching on. The streets already knew, but people in the social media world are just now kind of getting hip to it.
Yes. So you say the streets already knew. So I knew at one point, you want to quit music, but I don't know if it's before or after you hooked up with Carbon 15. I hope I've said that right.
Yeah, shout out Carbon, man. That's my manager. Carbon's from Bloomfield, and he was running around with Holmes as far as Jeezy early on in the Trap or Die days, and he kind of reached out to me. I really was done with the music, and he reached out to me and snatched me up and brought me into that fold. Of course, they knew me from before, just being around the hood and just different circles. But yeah, he brought me into that situation, and you did ask about that. So yeah, that's what kind of, he basically brokered that CTE situation.
So look, Billy, don't be coy now. Give us some insights, because you went from your grandma bootleg house, right? Your grandma
Well, she helped
bootleg.
run the bootleg. It went in her house, but she helped run it. It was
Okay,
across the way.
my bad. No disrespect.
No, you good. You good.
You went from your grandmother's house and you went from the choir. Now you hooked up with some big time people. I mean, you probably knew Jeezy from around Macon, but at this point, you got to be feeling, pretty good about yourself. Take us back to that moment where you signed the deal. What's going through your mind? Like, are you feeling like you're about to make it? What's going on?
I felt like it was a possibility. I'm gonna be honest. I said this in another interview. I didn't want to go that route initially. So it took some convincing from my circle. Hey man, this is an opportunity. Because I felt like the type of music that I do didn't mesh well with what's now is known as the this burgeoning like trap movement. And I was always on some, it was still hood street music, but it was still like more so like that, like almost like a Dungeon Family vibe. That's kind of my vibe. That's always been my vibe, because those were big influences on me as far as like my music personally. So I didn't feel like what I did meshed well with their movement. So I was hesitant at first, but it took a little convincing. But we ended up doing a deal. It didn't work out. I don't even really talk about it. A lot of people don't even know. Yeah, just you mentioning it, that is a piece of my story, but I really don't.
Why don't you talk about it? Because that's something big in your life. I mean, Jeezy is a great artist, a great businessman. Why wouldn't you put that out there more?
I just believe in standing on my own too. I don't never try to ride anybody's coattails. Maybe it's a pride thing. Maybe it's that foolish pride, but I just never tried to ride nobody's wave. And I don't know. That's just always been me. I always stood on my own too, and I always had my own hustle. And that's just me. I don't know.
Well, what do you think that what did you come away with from the deal? Like, just really give us some insight. Maybe a harsh lesson you learned about really dealing with the industry and the business of music.
Well, so see, you asked me some questions. You trying to make me go there, Katie?
Well,
trying to make me go there.
You gotta help the youth.
Then yeah. I would say the industry is what can you do for me now type of atmosphere. If you're not hot, there's no more artist development. There's no more picking up a kid off the street and developing the artist. It's you got to already do everything yourself. And being that that's the case, it's really kind of pointless to sign a record deal. Just being all the way honest, you might as well do the footwork yourself. If you got to do all the work and then they just come in and put their stamp on it and take the bulk of the money, right, what's the use? You know what I mean? But what I did learn from the situation, just being in all honesty, is I watch Holmes' work ethic, and that's what I took away most of all. I've heard him say in other interviews that he had artists around him that was I guess, not doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily see it that way. Anytime I was requested to be at the studio, I was there. Anytime I was requested to be anywhere, or whatever they needed from Slum was on deck. Whether it was writing, even though songs did not get used, I was always all hands on deck for whatever the situation was. So I picked up work ethic from Buddy, man, and just watching his work. Yeah, and just coming up with ideas, and those ideas turning out to be number one hits, and stuff that people still sing to this day. I was in the studio for a lot of those. I was in the studio when he actually recorded Put On, a couple
Wow.
other songs. Yeah. I was in the studio when he recorded Put On. So yeah, that's what I absorb. It's just like you gotta have work ethic and you gotta be relentless. So that's what I picked up, and that's always kind of been my thing. Just go hard.
I
Regardless
mean,
of what.
did you take it personally when he said that, some artists didn't put in the work, or?
He's entitled to how he feels. I don't know, if he was, I don't know who in particular he was, referring to, but it definitely wasn't me. So I just look at it like, everybody has their own perspective on things, and I just kept it pushing, man. Ain't no bad blood. I'm never gonna speak bad on nobody, because I'm my own man. Like I said, I stand on my own too. But what I did take away is his work ethic and his business acumen for things outside of the record label. Every artist is not meant to be a CEO. I'll put it that way. There have been some successful ones. You see, Gotti puts his people in place. Rawls. I mean, I'm sure it's others, but those are the two I see as far as hip hop that really put their people in place and give them an opportunity to shine. Bro, he maybe had a hell of a lot of pressure at the time. Who knows? I don't know what type of pressure he was on at the time. So I'm not gonna speak to that. But what I feel like every artist ain't meant to be a CEO. A lot of focus was on what his individual movement, and I've heard like some of the homies speak on their personal experiences. But me, I just took it as what God has for me is for me, and maybe that wasn't the lane or the avenue for me, so to speak. So.
Absolutely. And you know what? I can back you on that, because it seems like whenever a huge international successful artist tries to have their own label, it's like they never allow their artists to be as big as them. And it just seems like, I'm sure they'll say that's not planned, but I mean, it just seems like it's so many more that I can say. They
So,
don't allow that,
what I will say is I had a chance to meet a lot of influential people. One of the first execs I met was Shakir Stewart, R.I.P. And I just watching the game from afar and just learning how things operate and how the machine works, to make a artist what they become. And, it's amazing. So I did pick up a lot of positive things. So I'm not, I'm not the bitter guy. I'm not going, that's not me. I keep it pushing. I'm just, the hustle has always been in me. So I don't really trip on that. If it wasn't for you speaking on it, I wouldn't speak on it. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm here, Billy. That's why I'm here. Look, one last question about Jeezy. Would you say would you consider him an associate, a friend, or just someone you did business with at this point, or ever?
I had no issues with Buddy, man. If I see him, it's all love on my end. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. No issue at all on my end. Okay. It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
He's on a different path in life, and so am I.
Yeah.
If we could do business in the future, I don't know. I don't know. But it'll have to be something that's definitely beneficial for both parties. It wouldn't just be one-sided.
Billy, you've been doing this for quite a while, and if I'm getting too personal, let me know. But I know you were a father at a young age, and you say you were in the streets and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But you didn't quit. So, help me out, because my niece takes piano lessons, and we're always telling her, you put your struggle, you can put your pain into your music. Clearly, if you've been through so much, and I'm not going to give away your age or anything, but you've been doing this for a good while, and you're talented. But what keeps you doing this? Because you could have said, you know what, screw this. I've had a deal. I've did this. I've done that. People know I'm talented. That's enough for me. What keeps you going?
Music is my therapy. If I didn't have music, I would probably be, you know, well, I know I'd probably be doing other stuff, but I would probably be in jail somewhere. Man, music is my sanity. That's my
Mhm.
safe haven, and that's where I go to release a lot of frustration, just express myself. So you know, I guess that's what keeps me going. I'm just not a quitter.
Mhm.
Anything I ever started, even though I had that one moment where I gave up, but that moment didn't even last.
Mhm.
Not even a month or two, man. It's just like when it's in you, you can't turn it off. You know what I mean? If something is in you, a lot of people pick up this and say, "Hey, I want a artist. I was a street nigga, and then I wanted to be an artist."
Mhm.
It was the opposite for me. I always been an artist. I always been a creative ever since as far as I can remember. So it's in me. It's not something that I just picked up to try to get some money. I would do it if it was no money involved. So that's what keeps me going. It's just in my DNA.
What is your feelings on ageism in hip hop? Because a friend of mine, the Skyzoo, he's not a 20-year-old. He's a good underground rapper, and he said, you just keep going. You find your base. But for you, do you feel like hip hop right now is getting a little better because hip hop is known for people saying it's a young person's game. What's your thoughts behind that?
I was just having this conversation earlier with Andreas. Shout out
Mhm.
Andreas. Who's having this conversation earlier. Just it's funny you mentioned that good music has no expiration date. To me, if you good at what you do, I don't care how old you are. Me personally, of course, you're gonna have the other side of the spectrum where people say, "Oh, you should quit," and but those people who are saying that, what have they actually done? If you look at the people who's saying that, you know.
Absolutely.
That's my take on it. I listen. One of my favorite albums is Doggy Style. That
Hmm.
that came out when I was a kid, and I was just listening to it literally like a couple days ago, like front to back, just riding on the interstate up to Atlanta. It's one of my favorite albums, so I don't care how long ago it came out. That's the thing with rap music. That's one of the reasons why I kind of figured it was time for me to do something different because music is taking like a dark turn as far as hip hop is concerned. First of all, you drop a hip hop project today and it's old news 3 days from now, and people want something new. That's just the way the game is come to. We got to change that. I was in Cancun, seeing Joe and Maxwell and Anthony Hamilton live. And I don't know when the last time Maxwell has dropped an album, but he came out
Hmm.
and did the hits, and from beginning to end, it was energy, and it was the people engaged, and it was going. So that's what I'm on. Like you got to let the music speak for itself, and good music has no expiration date.
No, it does not. Now, I said earlier, 6 albums, 15 singles.
Mhm.
Quite impressive. You worked with Fiend, Warren G, Slick Puller.
Yeah.
You supposed to be working with Freddie Gibbs coming up, correct?
That's supposed to be happening. We still trying to make it happen. Gibbs is a busy dude, so we got a record that we did a while ago that we
Mhm.
put out. It reached a couple blogs, but nothing new as of yet.
Mhm.
Carbon is still trying to put that together, and we just trying to find the right time to link up. I may have to go out to Cali and link up with bro, or you know, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I'm still gonna keep it pushing. So.
You seem like you get a lot of support from the hometown of Macon, Mactown. Shout out.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel like the support has been with
I'm
everybody that
surprised,
knows
man. I'm actually surprised because people say, well, Megan don't support. And I'll be honest, I was one of those said persons who felt like that at a certain point. But like I said, once I stopped focusing on who's supporting me and who's not, it seems like it just kind of happened organically on its own. And
you?
the city's been showing me a whole lot of love, man. So I definitely appreciate my city, and I'm gonna rep my city forever. So shout out to the Mac, the 478.
Now, for the people who don't know, and then I'll leave Macon alone. I know Macon is almost considered the little brother of Atlanta, even though we've had Capitol Records in Macon. I mean, the Allman Brothers, a Little Richard,
Hmm.
Otis Redden,
Yeah,
blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah blah
yeah,
blah. Right?
yeah.
Jason Aldean. So many
Hmm.
great artists. Kara Dangerous, Billie Slum. I could go on and on.
For sure, for sure. Macon used to be the hub that what Macon was what Atlanta is now. And I think we on our way back to that. We just got to keep putting out quality content and really sticking together. Um, I think it's gonna happen. History will repeat itself.
Now you were with CTE at the time where Atlanta was just really starting to pop, I believe, and
Yeah.
was it any pressure there to claim Atlanta? And you
No,
know,
never,
no, you wouldn't.
never,
I can't see
ever,
you ever
never,
doing
ever.
that. By the way,
Nah. Some people, get lost in the sauce, but never me. That ain't. We just built a certain way from where I'm from, man. And that ain't happening. So,
I heard
we
you
love
saying
Atlanta though.
another.
Shout out to the A-Town. I got a lot of partners still up in Atlanta.
Yeah, of course, we love Atlanta, but
Mm-hmm.
what do you think holds Macon back? Because this is a debate. I mean, everybody has this debate every single year. Uh, but for you right now in 2021, what do you think holds Macon back? Because the talent is there. It's a few artists that's trying to make it. Got some big label deals, and I'm looking to see what they do. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you think we need?
We just need the executives to look back this way. It's not anything, we just need the city to keep pulling out quality content, get off of the negativity, because a lot of people are afraid of making, man. It's a rough place. It's a small city, but it's definitely rough, and you got to be on your P's and Q's, no doubt. But I don't know. It's like we breed that talent, man. So everywhere around the city, it's not just one person or one group of people. It's everywhere you look. Is a slew of talent. We just got to keep pushing that quality content. When I say quality content, that means the presentation, your visuals, all of that. You can be a dope artist but have horrible presentation. I think once these people start looking at how we present ourselves, that's when things will start to change. And I think it's coming.
I hope so, Billy. I hope so. We've been waiting on it for a long time.
For sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. And another thing, we got to stop waiting to get a cosign from somebody, man. I never had a cosign. Just recently DJs have been starting to play my records, and I'm appreciative of that, but I never depended on that. I always stood on my own too. You just got to keep going and don't get mad if a DJ don't play your song. So what? You go out and work your own record. And that's what it's about. That's the name of the game. Just working your own grassroots movement at this point. We keep doing that and we're going to see a change. I guarantee.
Now, I just want to give a shout out to Billie Slum because if you guys don't know, on my very popular show, Kera Dangerous Talk, the theme song is actually Talk That Talk, and Billie was actually featured on that track, a hot track. And yeah, so you don't hear his part on there. You barely hear me on there because it's so short. But the thing is, you guys can go check that song out on Spotify. I believe that's on Kera Dangerous 2, the album. But you did a great job on that, Billie.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm so humbled that you would even consider me. You doing big things out here, and for you to reach back and say, "Hey, man, Sloan, jump on this," I was honored.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you saying that, and I'm so glad I met you because you've been doing your thing for a long time. And I want to say this again because it's just fun to say 6 albums, 15 singles. Billie Slum. One day I hope I can say I have that many. Now, I want you to guess what this is. Now, I got a quote here. All we need is opportunity, a little unity, without having to worry if brother man gonna shoot at me. Take the hood back. Just imagine what all the youth could be. The new heaven on earth. A picture painted so beautifully. But do you see? If you don't, then follow me to the land of milk and honey. That's where we all can be free.
Yep. Cloud surfing.
Cloud surfing. That's a single of yours.
Yep.
A beautiful song. And I know it's important for you to bring positive messages to the youth. So I just want to bring that song up because the video is beautifully shot. It's very meaningful. Just tell people a little story behind that song, Cloud Surfing, and why you wrote it and what it means and all that jazz.
So if I'm gonna be 100% transparent, that song is just me. I was on one day. I was in an elevated state of mind. That's what cloud surfing is. I'll just put it that way. I was in an elevated state of mind, and these are the things that I think about. That's when I meditate and just think about what's going on in my surroundings. And it's a lot of, like I said, a lot of violence in the city and a lot of negativity going around. So I feel like if we really took the hood back as the OGs and start kicking game to the young cats. Not trying to check them, but just like, you know, give them some game, and maybe things start shifting around here. You know what I mean? So, so that was the spin for the song. Now, shout out to Luminous Concepts for the visual, because I gave him inkling of idea of what I wanted to do. He just took it and just ran with it, you know. So shout out to Luminous Concepts.
Did a good job with that.
Absolutely. He's a visionary, man. One of the best in the city as far as like with that camera, you know. So if you're around, you know, the Georgia area and beyond, just holler at Luminous Concepts, so he's gonna get you right.
Absolutely, brother. Beautiful song. And then now, I mean, you have, let's see. Now you have your new album that just dropped. It just dropped last night.
It just dropped today.
It dropped today. Okay, well, yeah, I thought it dropped last night.
Yeah, it dropped at midnight. You're right. So
yeah,
you're right.
Midnight. Okay, so Crush Velvet, and you looking all, excuse me, Miss Slum, but you looking all sexy on the cover.
Yeah, she a gangster, man. She ain't tripping off of that. That's a real gangster. Shout out Hollywood Sugar.
Look, don't fight me, don't fight me.
Nah, she a real gangster, man. She ain't never tripping off of that.
So Crush Velvet, you getting your R&B on. So you know, I've been waiting on this because when I first heard you sing, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like I said, I always been afraid to sing in front of people. And shout out to the homie Crad for like I said, he kind of oversaw that whole project. I came to him with a vision, and he really pushed me. Like, Shalon, you can't be cool if you're gonna do this. You gotta really, you know, let it out. And that's something I had to kind of conquer that fear, like I said. So once I did that first session, he would say, "Nah, go back and do it again. Nah, go back and do it again." And so he gave me the confidence to really just kind of push it out, and you know, we made it happen, man. Here you have it, Crush Velvet.
I'm so proud of you because that is an easy listening. The tracks are mixed beautifully. And I mean, it's a really good project. You know, I was listening to it earlier, and I already got a few favorite songs.
Okay.
You know, I like the song Crazy. And the first track I really liked. That was a good, you need to have that for a single. Like, I'm really feeling that.
Yeah, the video should be coming really soon for Stuck on You.
And you know, I gotta ask you about one track on there, because I'm like, I hear Prince in here, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
with these walls. Now you was getting down a little funky track going on.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that track, that record?
You know, Prince is my favorite artist. I'd be lying if I said there was no influence from Prince, man. He's the greatest of all time. My favorite artist, now my favorite vocalist is Brandy.
Okay.
You know, she has pipes like, you know, I wish I had an inkling of that gift, man. Just how she puts together vocal arrangements and harmonies. She's ill. But Prince is my favorite artist. So, you know, hands down, the GOAT. So like I said, when I was a child, I mimicked a lot of the stuff that my mom would listen to. And so Prince always caught my ear. Like, he one moment he's like high falsetto, the next minute he's down low, you know. And I was always fascinated by that. Even though he had his own little weird, you know, whatever the imagery was, I was fascinated by that too, because you know, all of it was dope. That's just not me as far as like the imagery, but as far as like the actual music and the presentation of it, you know, I'm 100% influenced by that.
So with this new R&B album, what did you want the entire feel of this album to really give people, and what did you want to say about Billie Slum as a complete artist?
So if anybody knows anything about me and my music, I talk about real life situations. And I just want to talk about, you know, it tells a story without me just saying it is telling a story. But Crush Velvet is the overall sound of my I guess particular brand of R&B. I feel like it's super smooth. But it's telling a story about, you know, relationships, you know, how, you know, you have ups and downs, and, you know, just pretty much a balance of everything that really happens in relationships. And I was, you know, hey, I'm in a good space in my life. I'm happy. So I wanted to express that. And sometimes rap ain't, you know, always the best way to express that. You know, people don't like happy rap. I don't know why they like that. You know, they want to slide and, you know, got the glizzy, you know, that's the type of rap that's popular now. So I wanted to express myself in a different way.
One more question about music, and I want to tell people first. Well, first tell people where they can find this album before I go on.
Crush Velvet is everywhere. Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
So I decided to really jump into this whole R&B thing because, like I said, it's a dark energy around hip hop right now. We gotta take that back because we control the culture. We run the culture. We can't let these companies keep pumping that that negative genocidal music to our people. Of course, you have different types of artists, but you got to go and search for it. But on the mainstream level, all they pumping to us is genocidal music, and you don't see Maxwell trying to, have a shootout with Anthony Hamilton. You know what I mean? You
Right.
don't see Joe trying to, pull up on boys and men and set trip. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to do my shows and go back home to my family. You dig? So R&B was the way for me. I'm gonna get back to the rap, but right now this is the mode I'm in. So this is what we sticking to.
I think that's a good lane for you. I think it's
Thank you.
R&B. People a little bit more receptive to it, especially when you get a little older. I think people don't judge you as much for some reason. I don't know why, but that was a good segue to my topic because I want to know, when you were with Young Jeezy at CTE and you've been doing stuff on your own label, Slum Child Presents, and you said so many times that your music was just different than your counterparts.
Yeah, I mean, go back and listen. Everything I've done has always been kind of left field as far as like the sound wise.
But Bill, I know you just like me. I've met plenty of executives in the music industry who could have put me on. They all said I had talent, but they wanted me to tweak a few things.
Right.
Why in the world did you make the decision to stick to what you wanted to do? That's what I want to know because people need to hear this. You could have sold out. You could have said, I'm pretty sure you can write some trap songs and whatever. But obviously it's something about you that says, no, this is the music I want to make and this is what I'm going to stick to. Why?
I never been the person to try to do what everybody else is doing. That's just never been me. And I'm gonna give you an exclusive, KD. Before the CTE situation, shout out to my big homie B Hicks. He took me to meet an executive from Colombia, right around the time that Sierra was popping. He was actually A&R in Sierra's project, and we sat up in the studio. He listened to a couple of my songs. He was like, "Man, you got that Outkast feel." That's dope, but this is what popping right now. And so guess what he turned on? And before I say this, let me just say for the record, I love these artists. You in the club, they popping. I still bop to their music. So this is no disrespect with what I'm about to say, but he was down with, bringing me into the fold. He really wanted to do the project. You know what I mean? So he said, you got an Outkast vibe, but this is what's popping. And so he turned on, do it like me, baby. Lean and rock from side. And I respect that. I respect that. I bop to that, right? We all bop to that, right? That's not who I am as an artist. So so it's like thank you, but no thank you. And I never told that story. So you getting an exclusive. So I sat in in the studio with that guy. He said, "You got the Outkast vibe, the Dungeon Family vibe." And I want to work with you, man. Let's bring you to the fold, but this is what's popping, right? I need you to kind of bro. How can I go back and look at my people? You know what I mean? How can I look at myself in the mirror if I would have conformed to that, knowing that that's not me? People may say, well, you dumb. You should have took. I mean, what was it worth though?
All money, not good money, right?
Right. So that was an opportunity I stepped aside from. Then the CTE situation, it was not the best fit for me either because I don't think this is, again, no disrespect. So I'm not trying to speak in a negative manner. I just don't think they knew what they had on their hands. You know what I mean? Right. So you need to be with somebody. If I am going to be in that mainstream sector of the music industry, I guess it has to be somebody who sees my vision and knows how to take my vision and put it to the next level.
Sound like a smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could have just took you. I mean, I
could have had one hot single and just faded away.
But that would have took more from you as an artist. People say that cliche where they say, "I'm an artist, I'm sensitive about my shit, man." But we really are. When you are an artist who really writes your own material and you think and it's a process for you, you can't just write something simplistic or put yourself out there and write something that's kind of just bubblegum type of stuff. You want to write some deep stuff. Like that would have took so much from you as an artist, I feel, if you would have watered your music down.
You cannot put a Pinto motor in a Maybach.
Right.
Is that if you picking up what I'm putting down, you can't do that.
Yes, because even those cars that exhibit used to pimp out. Sometimes it was like that's gonna break down soon.
Right.
You putting too
Right.
much on
You
that
get
little
where I'm
bitty
going.
car.
You get where I'm going. Right.
Yes,
Some
sir.
things just don't fit.
Well, I tell you this, Bill. Do you recognize this right here?
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's the
Slum
brand,
Child.
slumchild.store. That's the brand. I always been heavy into the merch. Even back when before it was streaming, we always had t-shirts to go along with whatever product we was moving. And that's always been a thing. I want to say I was one of the trendsetters in the city as far as that goes. People may not give me my credit, and I ain't looking for the credit, but I'm just stating facts.
Go
That's something,
ahead.
that's something I don't trip on the credit, but I know for a fact within my own self and my homies know that I was the mastermind behind a lot of the stuff that we was doing, as well as camps like Dark House. They was always branding themselves. So shout out to them. I'm not gonna say it was just me, but I was one of the first to start doing that. So yeah, Slum Child Clothing is the brand. Please shop slumchild.store. You can get you one of these extravagant tees. I have some exclusive stuff that's not on the website. You can follow my pages and get you some of the exclusive merch. I've been taking, I'm a person that pays attention to the culture, right? So I see like how Griselda does their stuff. So shout out to them. They'll have exclusives. They'll drop exclusives as far as like the pieces. And once it's gone, it's just gone, right? So I've been taking notes from them. So I watch and observe, and I try to use that template for my own brand.
Well, Billy, I'm on your ass, brother. I'm on your ass.
Okay, I see.
I'm selling t-shirts.
I see, man. People, if they like what you got and you have good customer service along with your product, people will support you. And it don't have to be in your hometown. And, I think people fail to realize that. I see a lot of people complaining, well, ain't nobody supporting me. If you're not supporting me, I see a lot of those posts. I don't never trip on that because
that was just me last week.
You was talking that trash? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, because the people who are going to tap in with your movement 9 times out of 10 is not going to be the people you think it should be.
Now that's
and
true.
I've learned to accept that because I've been doing this for a long time, so I really don't trip off of nothing. No hate, no shade. It's going to be a crowd that's specifically for me, a fan base and a core that's specifically for me, and God got it. So I ain't tripping off of nothing.
Let me spank myself.
Yeah.
God does have it,
Yep,
he has it. He's a perfect planner. I just like to get in people's face sometimes. That's all, Billy.
I know, man. That's your personality. You like to be, raw and uncut.
How do you know that?
I'm an observer. I observe everybody around me. They may not know it, but I'm always processing.
So. I like that. So look, we know you're an entrepreneur. You're in school. You're studying accounting, business administration. You got it going on. So you know what time it is now, brother. If you said everything, do you have a final thing you want to say before you hit the stage and perform?
No, it just thank you to anybody who's ever supported me. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I'm gonna continue to try to give quality product and quality presentation. Like I said, I'm new to the R&B thing, so I'm not expecting to be the most polished vocalist. I am about to start vocal lessons, so y'all gonna be in trouble once I start doing that.
Yes, and let me just remind people to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let's keep it going. Hit the like button if you're watching right now. Send this link to a friend because Billie Slum is about to get down. His band is about to
shout out to Blueprint, man.
Yeah, Blueprint band. I'm sorry, that's right. Billie Slum featuring the Blueprint band. Tell us a little bit about them.
So
hit the stage.
So just randomly, I put a post out a few months ago about needing somebody to play for a little performance clip I was trying to do when I'm always thinking of ways to try to promote myself and brand myself. So I wanted to do like a performance where I did some covers to kind of segue into what I'm doing now. And somebody tagged the homie Kenny Pratt, so I instantly just start direct messaging him, and we linked up. And I'm a vibe person. I feed off of people's energy, and if the energy is bad, we're gonna keep it cordial, but I'm gonna kind of stay away from you. But the energy was good, and he was a solid dude, and we've been building ever since. And bruh's been putting me in front of crowds and put me to the test, and he put me in every type of room, with the corporate people, the upscale, more stern, prestigious people to the wild parties or whatever. So he's really been putting me in place, and likewise. So we began a mutual working relationship, and it's been organic, and we've been vibing out ever since, doing gigs, going here, there. I've been doing more performing as a singer than I did as a rapper, and that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Sometimes just take one little tweak, baby, and you
paid shows my ad.
Well, congratulations, you deserve it. You've been putting in the work for a long time.
Righteous. So congratulations to you, man. I see how you've been building your platform.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, man. You like the streets Oprah. I'm giving you that stamp. I'm giving you that stamp. The streets Oprah. You certified in my book.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Righteous.
Yes. So, guys, we getting ready for the Blueprint Band. I'm telling you, don't want to miss this. Please grab a friend because Billy is going to impress you with his smooth sounds. And you are doing, let me remember what song you're doing off this album.
Right Now. It's called Right Now. It's on the Crushed Velvet. It's number 2 on the Crushed Velvet album. Shout out to Blueprint. We got KP on lead guitar, the homie Drop in the background on bass, Soup on the drums. So we about to get into this right now.
Yes.
Like I said, Crushed Velvet on all digital platforms. Crushed Velvet out right now. No pun intended. Yeah. You remind me of a love so rare. Nothing else compares to you. I wanna beg your neck, you're true. So tell me if you're ready. Hey, tonight you're gonna get it. And you know where we headed, baby girl. Let's get a room. Throw away the key. All I wanna do is see a lot of you on me. I'm talking right now. Oh, 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 baby, lights down. Lights down low. Girl, I want to show you just how much I want you. You make me an addict, and girl, I got to have it. I'm talking right now. I just want to feel your beautiful body when we turn the lights down. Turn the lights down low. I need every piece of you. I'll do whatever you want me to, girl. And I'm so lost inside your love tonight. I found a map to your treasure. Let's take it slow, ain't no pressure, no, no. So all aboard and come ride with me. Yeah. Throw away the key. All I wanna do. Talk right now. Driving me out of my mind. When we turning down the lights, baby, lights down low. Girl, I wanna show you. I wanna show you. I wanna show you, baby. Ooh, I just wanna feel your beautiful body when we turn the lights down. Turn the lights down low. Hey, I'm focused on your presence. It's such a blessing. Gotta touch you, I can't help it. Now that we're alone, baby girl, turn off that phone and shout and let me groove you. I know exactly how to do you. So please do not disturb. Throw away the key. Throw away the key. All I wanna do right now, baby. Right now, baby. Lights down, lights down low. I wanna show you. I wanna show you, baby. Something right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Lights down low. Lights down low. Thank you so much, KD, for having me. Thank you so much, KD. Shout out to Blueprint, man.
Whoa, good job, guys, on the guitars back there.
Yeah, these
Good
boys
job,
is vicious.
really.
These boys is vicious, man. They the
Woo.
truth. They super humble, but they vicious, man. They
Oh,
vicious.
Billy, you got some range, brother.
Man, I'm trying to work on it. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing vocal lessons, so we're trying to get better. I'm a work in progress, so I'm steady trying to learn.
I am so proud of you, man. I'm telling you, you multi-talented, you doing your thing, you staying positive, you trying to motivate the youth, and you know, this is exactly what we need. It gets me excited, you know. Please, y'all, make sure you stream his new album, all his music.
Please.
Like I said, he got over 6 albums, 15 singles. Listen to something, baby. He got the music for you.
Yeah. And this is just the beginning of this R&B phase, so you know, expect a lot more.
Billy, any final words?
Like I always say, man, thank you to everybody who's ever supported me, whether you bought merchandise or you streamed the song or hit like on the post. I don't care. Any type of support, I appreciate you. If you spoke on my name in a positive light in different circles when I wasn't around, God bless you, and I appreciate you, man. And that's it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you so much, Blueprint Band. Y'all keep doing your thing. We're gonna be checking you out, and we'll probably have you back again. You never know. You guys have a good one, okay?
Say the word, and we
Okay, thank you, brother.
Salute.
Okay, guys, let me just get this fixed up real quick, because you know what? I need to talk to you to tell you something. Make sure that you like and, you know, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell, comment, but actually go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And I want to tell you, Kera Dangerous Talk will be back next week on Wednesday with Dr. Cleo Manigo. Dr. Cleo will be here, and it's going to be a great conversation Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. You don't want to miss it. We're going to talk about a lot of important things concerning us, brown people, and people in general. You don't want to miss that. You know, we're on season 3 of Kera Dangerous Talk, and we've been having some great shows. If you haven't, please catch my last show I did with Jane Elliott, and the show before that with Professor Kaba Kameen. I mean, come on, you can't beat that. We get knowledge on this platform every single week, so continue to support, baby. I'm so proud tonight. Okay, somebody from Mactown, my hometown, came and showed out. That's what it's all about, guys. Have a wonderful night and stay in touch on the Kera Dangerous Instagram page, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. The website still got t-shirts for sale. Make sure you check out KeraDangerousTalk.com. and send me articles if you guys want to submit them. Don't forget that. You can hit my email, keradangerousforreal@gmail.com. Put in the subject line, submitting article, and I will get back with you if I want to publish you to the website. Again, thank you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Stay tuned.